In 1909, a small Arizona newspaper printed a story so strange that it still echoes today. It claimed explorers found a massive underground city hidden inside the Grand Canyon. Not a cave, not a ruin, a full stone citadel, with tunnels, chambers, and artifacts that did not belong to Native America. Here's the question no one answered back then, and still hasn't today. Was it a newspaper hoax, or was something real quietly erased from history? Let's treat this like a case file. Exhibit A, the article. On April 5, 1909, the Arizona Gazette published a front-page article. It claimed that a man named G.E. Kincaid, funded by the Smithsonian Institution, explored a cave deep in the Grand Canyon. According to the article, the cave was nearly impossible to reach, hidden halfway down a cliff, invisible from above, invisible from the river. Inside, Kincaid allegedly found a vast network of tunnels, rooms carved with precision, copper weapons, stone tablets, and most shocking of all, Egyptian-style artifacts, statues resembling Isis, hieroglyph-like symbols, and a layout that looked planned, not natural. The article said the Smithsonian took control of the discovery. Then something strange happened. No follow-up articles, no public excavation, no museum display, no records. The story simply vanished. And that's where suspicion begins. If this was fake, why publish such detail? If it was real, why did it disappear? Now let's move to Exhibit B. Exhibit B, the Smithsonian denial. Over the years, people started asking questions. Did the Smithsonian really fund this expedition? The official answer? No. They say no record of Kincaid exists. No expedition, no artifacts, no discovery. Case closed, right? Not so fast. The Smithsonian has denied other discoveries in the past, until forced to admit them decades later, and early 1900s record-keeping was far from perfect. More importantly, the article used real titles, real institutions, and technical language uncommon for a casual hoax. So the question becomes, was this a complete fabrication, or a discovery that created problems too big to explain? Now things get more interesting. Exhibit C, the Hopi legends. Long before 1909, the Hopi people told stories of ancestors emerging from underground worlds inside the Grand Canyon. They spoke of hidden entrances, sacred tunnels, and advanced beings who lived beneath the earth after a great catastrophe. According to Hopi tradition, not all knowledge was meant to be shared publicly. Some places were forbidden. When Western explorers arrived, tribal elders warned them not to dig too deep. Ask yourself this: how could a newspaper story accidentally match ancient oral traditions? Coincidence or overlap? Now we move to Exhibit D. Exhibit D, restricted areas. Large portions of the Grand Canyon are off limits to the public. No hiking, no photography, no explanation. Some areas have been restricted for over a century. Officials say it's for safety and preservation, and that may be true. But here's the unsettling part. Several restricted zones align with locations described in the 1909 article, and modern explorers who tried to investigate these areas report being stopped quickly, sometimes permanently banned. Why restrict empty rock unless there's something there that creates questions? Now let's talk motive. If such a city existed, it would rewrite American history. It would challenge timelines. It would force explanations no institution was ready to give in 1909. Sometimes, suppressing a discovery is easier than explaining it. Before we continue, if you enjoy deep dives like this, stories that history left unfinished, this channel explores them every week. Subscribing helps you stay ahead of the next mystery. Now back to the case. Exhibit E, the missing evidence problem. Critics say one thing, and it's fair. No physical artifacts have ever surfaced publicly. No photos, no museum pieces, no confirmed cave entrance. That's a serious problem for believers. But here's the counterpoint. If an institution removed everything and sealed access early, there would be nothing left to find. Absence of evidence does not always mean evidence of absence, especially when access is controlled. So what are we left with? A detailed newspaper article, cultural legends that predate it, restricted land that fuels questions, and an official denial that doesn't fully satisfy curiosity. Was it a hoax meant to sell papers? Possibly. Was it a misunderstood cave system exaggerated by imagination? Also possible. Or was there something discovered, then quietly buried? Not under rock, but under silence. Here's the final question. If nothing is there, why does this story refuse to die after more than 100 years? History usually forgets lies, but it remembers secrets. Now I want you to decide. Do you think the lost city of the Grand Canyon was fiction, or something we were never meant to see? Read the article, study the legends, look at the restricted maps. Then tell me what you think in the comments and subscribe to explore more historical hidden mystery on days ahead.